Episode 1 Feminine Power is Real. Patriarchal fear number 1 The Strong Woman. Patriarchies can only exist if they use egynavy, the suppression of feminine power. Independent women terrify patriarchists because such women have stepped beyond male control. Patriarchists accuse such women of emasculating men because patriarchies primarily exercise what they see as masculine power through their ability to oppress women and to suppress knowledge of feminine power. Therefore, patriarchists, some weak egoed men and women who support them, must clearly define the genders as either female or male so they know exactly who to oppress. Rights recently granted to LGBTQ plus people as humanity becomes more democratic threaten patriarchists. What is feminine power? Our ancient ancestors believed women were the creators because they believed women were conjuring babies out of their own physical and spiritual powers. They had no idea that males contributed to pregnancy. So women were not only the major gods, but also the major spiritual, also known as magical, powerhouses in their communities. Women were clearly tied to the cycles of the moon, showing their cosmic connections, and they bled, menstruated, which comes from the word moon, 3 to 5 days a month without dying. A magical ability men envied so much that they tried to imitate it with circumcision and penile piercing. Feminine power, aka feminine magic or female magic, was so powerful that it was believed to mess up any magic anyone else was trying to do. So ancient women willingly secreted themselves away during their moon time in order to prevent their stronger magics from messing up the weaker male magics. Feminine power is the fact that if we count the number of things women can do that men can do, women are superior to males because we can do everything they can do. Plus 2, menstruate and give birth. There's a plethora of evidence for ancient feminine power. The oldest written word in the world, estimated between 93,000 and 143,000 years old, is the bifurcated triangle, symbolizing women's pudenda, found in South Africa in 2022 by paleontologists. This symbol remained the word for women through both the Sumerian and Akkadian empires, circa 3000 to 2154 BCE. Egyptian myths tell us of a mound of creation, which was imitated, scholars admit, in the first royal mastabas, but it wasn't long before they resorted to the ancient female symbol in pyramid shape. Most Egyptian male leaders had their mothers buried near them, so the same woman could give birth to them in the next realm. While Egyptologists admit pyramids were meant to help access the next life, none mention the feminine power symbol that all pyramids are. The rise of androcentrism. Egyptians discovered that males play a physical role in pregnancy when they domesticated the only monogamous animal ever domesticated, swans, circa 2400 BCE. Observing swans mating, laying eggs, hatching the young soon after, which was a relatively short gestation cycle compared to most other domesticated animals, they finally were able to verify that males contribute to pregnancy. As a result, males ran with the idea that they were the real creators, believing that they were planting human seeds, also known as homunculi, into women's fertile fields, removing any spiritual power that had previously been attributed to women's ability to create new life. Sargon of Akkad, who lived from 2334 to 2279 BCE, is the first recorded male to attribute a unique spiritual birth for himself, which will later be absorbed as the Moses myth by Abrahamic religions circa 750 BCE. This unique birth allowed him to claim he was chosen by the gods to lead. To seal the deal, he usurped the Sumerian Kursu ritual to prove that he was the chosen one by the gods to lead all of Akkad. The annual Kursu ritual required a male representative on Earth to have sex with the high priestess of the goddess Inanna, so that Inanna could pass down to humanity the knowledge of the gods, which could only be achieved through sex, which was the closest activity humans knew that made them feel like gods. When Sargon usurped this ritual, his own biological daughter, Enheduanna, was the high priestess, demonstrating that the knowledge of procreation was still rather suspect at the time because incest was still acceptable. How androcentrism made feminine power evil. Feminine power went from being seen as strong magic to being viewed as evil in less than half a millennia after the discovery of procreation. Menstrual fluids became dirty and tainted, so that menstruating women were shunned and barred from entering buildings. Circumcision went from being a form of sympathetic female magic to being a mark for the male believers in a male god. Even Roman soldiers wore pendants of penises and testicles for protection, having forgotten that the protection in question came from the belief in women's magical ability to bleed but not die every month. The meaning of many words purposely were changed. The Akkadian word for women, sinistra, became our word sinister. The word sin itself transformed from the Sumerian name for the new moon to meaning anything done in the dark or for evil purposes, before the early Hebrews changed it to mean anything done against their God. While the moon was still associated with magic, that magic was often seen as evil, just like the women whose menstrual cycles mirrored its phases. There is so much more to tell you, but it will have to wait. Watch for the next episode, Matriarchies Preceded Patriarchies. For more information, in the meantime, read Ruth J. Heflin's Pitiless Bronze, a post-patriarchal examination of pre-patriarchal cultures. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share so everyone can learn the real truth.